Haitian family in the building. I want to take some time out to acknowledge some of you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to the Haitian family. I see Brother Calvin is in the building. Peace to you, Brother Calvin. I see the Queen Mother Bonetta is in the building. Peace to you, Queen Mother. I see you. Empress Love is in the building. It says peace, fam. Peace to you, Empress. Baba Gerald Meeks is in the building. Peace to you, Baba. He said, Dr.Maat Ashe. The Queen Mother Virgo Venom is in the building. She says, happy 2023. I don't consider it New Year. We celebrate the New Year. Ashe. That's how it is, man. The Queen Mothers always come on and drop the wisdom, right? She said, happy 2023. But I don't consider it a new year. We celebrate the new year in the spring, right? But happy 2023. Ashe, Queen Mother. Thank you so much for dropping that wisdom, dropping that knowledge. I see Brother Keenan is in the building. He said, peace to Dr. Maat in the chat. Peace to you, Brother Keenan. I see Don Yell said, Maomi says, yes. You know, your girl is I'm a hip hop head, man. I'm a hip hop head. People who have been connected with me know, man, I used to write rhymes and perform and record and do all kinds of stuff. And Mos Def was one of the hip hop artists that I was crazy about. Mos Def, you know, Mos Def, Talib Kweli. I'm one of those type of females, you know, Brand Nubian and De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, Leaders of a New School. You get what I'm saying? Like, so that's my wave right there. But yeah, peace to Brother Danielle Scott in the building. I see Red Pill, the Warrior, Red Pill Productions in the building. He says, Habari Ghani. He said, with that Imani Ma'at. Imani to you, warrior. Peace and love to you. We see the goddess, you know, the goddess Yemaya is going to be in the building. She says, peace and Black Power family and happy Kwanzaa. Habari Ghani and Imani. And she tells you, come on, like and share the video. Let's get the views up, man. It seems like since I've been going live talking about Kwanzaa, it's kind of like, I guess a lot of people are out celebrating. So I'm not taking it personal, but the live stream views are going like, shoo. Usually it's like an average of 100,000, really 100, but I just say 100,000, but 100,000 people usually in the building. And this week on average, it was like 30 to 50. So let's get the views up. If you're on Twitter, tweet the link. If you're on Facebook, post the link, post it on your social media. You probably have social media. You all are probably on social media platforms that I'm unaware about. I just know Facebook, IG, Twitter, TikTok. I'm on all of them I'm on all of them. I think TikTok is getting ready to get me out of there. I have an account warning. Hold on, family. I can show you. I have an account warning on my TikTok. A lot of people flag my videos and say, this is hate speech. You know, when we're simply I'm sharing videos of Dr. Clarke and Dr. Ben and, you know, my elders. So I have an account warning. Hold on. I don't know if you all can see. Let me stop moving. There we go. Do you see that red account warning? I don't know if you all can see it, but I think they're going to get me off of there. Just like with IG, on Instagram, I went from gaining about 1,000 on average, 1,000 followers per day, now to barely getting maybe 10 or 20 per week. Okay. And it's like they took me out of the algorithm. They flagged my page. They now when people go to follow me, some of my supporters have screenshotted me stuff showing me that they will put, do you sure you want to follow Dr. Maat? This page has been flagged for false information, for disinformation. And so people would screenshot it and send it to me. So they did that. They took me out of the algorithm. So I stopped appearing on people's feeds. And so, like I said, I went from getting like 1,000, you know, followers. I don't like to say followers. I like to say supporters. So 1,000 supporters per day to now, like I said, barely maybe 10 per week. And then even the people who do follow me, you know, on IG, they say, I don't even see your stuff on my feed anymore. Like I have to literally manually navigate to your page to see what you post. And so the censoring is real. Shout out to Sister Vicky Dillard. I actually had a build with her, and we talked about the censoring of Black voices that is taking place on social media. And so we got to remember, family, what mass communications is all about. And I'm thinking about doing a presentation in the new year to talk about, you know, the birth of mass communications and what, you know, the purpose of it, right? So the origin of it and the purpose is really to control the public consciousness, to control public opinion. That's why it was created. And so when they're pushing in mass communications, they're pushing a narrative. And anyone who's going against that narrative, they'll flag you, oh, is this false information? Or they will assassinate your character, or they'll try to get your platforms and all of that stuff removed. And so we got to remember what mass communications is about control of your mind. It's about control of your thoughts. And so anyone who's pushing back and they are putting out narratives that are countering what they want in the public consciousness, they're censoring it, family. And censoring is at an all-time high, family. Censoring at an all-time high. Even here on YouTube, my aunt has shared with me a few days ago that she doesn't get notifications for my channel anymore. Like she said and literally she subscribed and she clicked the notification bell, and there are no notifications. Okay. Like she said, she gets zero notifications. So she said sometimes she has to come over and say, oh, she's live, and then she'll hop on. So, and then even some people told me that they were unsubscribed from my channel. And so the censoring is real, family. So again, sharing is caring. Help me get the word out, family. Help me get the word out whenever I'm live. All right, whenever I'm live. And so again, Habari Ghani, today we're talking about the new year, the Haitian Revolution, Dr. John Henry Clarke, Dr. Ben, and the last principle of the Nguzo Saba, which is Imani. So I do want to say Happy New Year to those under the sound of my voice, those who celebrate it. But I do agree with the Queen Mother that technically, the new year starts in the spring when things are now basically when I don't want to say things are alive again, right? Because we say that during the winter, we say that things die, but they don't really die. They go through a process, right? It's like a whole process of, I would just say maybe rejuvenation. But, in the spring, that's when things blossom. That's when things grow. And so they say things are anew, right? During the spring. And so anyway, I do understand what Queen Mother Virgo Venom is saying, but Happy New Year nonetheless to those who celebrate it. I know that we always start off with the new year. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then we fall off, So I pray that you stick to your New Year's resolutions. And I hope that your New Year's resolutions incorporate, ma'at, that you strive every day to speak ma'at, live ma'at, think ma'at, speak ma'at, and live ma'at. Ashe. And I also hope that your New Year's resolutions entailed the Nguzo Saba, the Nguzo Saba. I hope that your New Year resolutions entailed or encompass, Iwa Peli or Iwa Riri, ideal character or good character. I tell my students 3 things that I try to do every day. I try to think free. I strive to think free, perfect my character, and move with a purpose. Those are the 3 things that I strive to do every day, and I will continue to do in the new year. And so anyway, I want to take some time out to reflect. I'm going to share my screen. And I want to talk about the Haitian Revolution for a little bit. And it's crazy that on Kwanzaa, the 7th day of Kwanzaa, the last day of Kwanzaa, falls on January the 1st, right? And some people go, well, Doctor, what are you talking about? What happened on January the 1st? On January the 1st, we also celebrate the independence of Haiti. And those brothers and sisters fought. They fought from 1791 to 1804. And they fought. They kicked it off in August of 1791. And they won. They were victorious and declared their independence on January the 1st, 1804. I'm bringing it full circle. So on today, Imani, faith. Okay, let me bring up the principle because I don't want to paraphrase any of this stuff. Faith. So it says to believe with all of our hearts and our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders in the righteousness of victory of our struggle. I want to read that one more time. Imani, faith, to believe with all our heart and our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders in the righteousness and victory of our struggle. Ashe? So when I think about the Haitian Revolution, those warriors, I want to call them what they are. And I'm going to say are, not were, because when we speak of our ancestors, we should be speaking of our ancestors in the present tense, Ashe, because our ancestors are omnipresent. You are the sum total of your ancestors. I am the sum total of my ancestors. So our ancestors are omnipresent. And so when we speak of them, we don't speak of them in past tense. We speak of them in present tense. Ashe. So those ancestors are warriors. And being a warrior and fighting, they had to have faith. It was the faith. It was the faith that made them stand up and fight. They had faith in the righteousness and the victory of our struggle. Imani. And on Facebook today, I said, long live the spirit of those warriors, those fearless warriors who were fearless, who had the fight and the desire to be free. Imani, the faith. They had faith that they would be victorious. And they were. They were. Family, today I'm definitely watching this film, 1804, The Hidden History of Haiti. Even though I wouldn't call it the hidden history because the Haitians know the history. The history isn't hidden. We know the history. But nonetheless, this was a beautiful documentary that was produced by our brother Tariq Nasheed. And I watched it a few times with my family, with the youth in my family. And I love it because it counters the narrative, or it destroys the narrative that our ancestors were weak and that they did not fight. And so I love this documentary 1804 because it shows our ancestors in a different light. So a lot of our youth today say ignorant things like, I'm not my ancestors, man. I kick your tail. You know, I ain't for that civil rights stuff, marching and all that. I'm a fight. Well, your ancestors fought. They fought and they died. And they fought and they did things that we're too scared to do today in 2023. And so I love this documentary because this documentary shows the struggle. It shows the fight in a different light. Ashe? And so I'm going to go ahead and play the trailer. Let me make sure that I hit the audio because I know you all know. Sometimes I forget to hit the audio and you all yell at me in the chat. Doc, put your audio on. Here we go.
There's nothing that happens after the Haitian Revolution and our fight for freedom across the Caribbean and North and South America that wasn't influenced by the Haitian Revolution.
The African people on the island fought all the largest armies of the world at the time and won over each one of them. Whooped the Spaniards, beat up the French, knocked down the British.
The Haitians have a pride about them. A revolution is the most important thing to them. The first thing they instill in you is that you are the first Black Republic.
1804 becomes important because it's the date at which the implementation of the dream of real revolution and real equality and new nation status and the ability to defend your new nation is manifest.
When you look at modern historians, when they talk about victories that Europeans had over non-white people, they always frame the narrative as victories. But when African people rise up and fight off their European oppressors, they frame the narrative as a massacre.
Africans everywhere that were enslaved resisted it. Haiti becomes significant because it was the first time in human history that an enslaved population actually overthrew their oppressors.
The Haitian Revolution, though, was the most organized, the most large scale, the most impressive in terms of structure and complication from the very beginning.
Haiti made more money for France than all 13 colonies.
The Haitian Revolution was very influential, particularly amongst Africans. It was seen as an inspiration for Africans in this hemisphere, just as it was seen as a horror by those who held slavery here.
There is a concept that we must defeat Haiti. We must ground them into the ground. We can never let them rise. They are an example of Black power. They are an example of what happens when people who are oppressed decide to stop being oppressed.
Woo! Family, did you get energized just watching the like just watching the trailer? Like I literally got energized just watching the trailer. I don't know if it was just the music, and the scenes, but I got energized just watching it. Our ancestors were warriors. Shout out to Baba Amin. He said, great documentary. So family, make sure that you watch. If you have it, watch the documentary today. And Bob, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. I know you probably say I just came in to say hi. I came in to say hi. She told me I'm dropping the link in the chat. Baba, come on in here, Baba. And let's talk, build with me on the Haitian Revolution. Build with me for a sec, Baba, if you can, if you got some time. Because I don't know, you could be doing, Baba's a family man. And so he might be doing something with Mama and Koyo and the Watoto. But Baba, if you could slide in and build with me for a sec on the Haitian Revolution, that would be phenomenal. But family, I'm telling you, please, if you have the opportunity to watch this today in honor of the Haitian Revolution, sit back with your family, get your popcorn, get your snacks, and watch the Haitian Revolution and the documentary, on the Haitian Revolution. And I felt great watching this documentary, watching the trailer for this documentary, because I literally interviewed most of the people that you see in the trailer. So at the beginning, the trailer starts with Professor James Small. I had the honor to I've had him on the platform several times. Dr. I want to say her name is Beignet. I might have butchered it just now, but Queen Mother, please forgive me. I had her on Dr. Bello. She's been on this platform once. I never interviewed Wyclef, but I did have the honor of interviewing Dr. Leonard Jeffries. You just saw him appear, thanks to Brother Charles and Brother Reggie. And so I interviewed him actually twice. He was just on the platform a couple of weeks ago. I talked to Brother Tariq Nasheed. I interviewed him once, and I've been featured in a couple of his documentaries. And I'm trying to see, Isley Dontel. So Sister Isley Dontel, she's in this trailer. And I had the Dr. Wade Nobles. Look at this. I interviewed Dr. Wade Nobles before. And the sister is Isley Dontel. She's sharp, family. That sister is sharp. And I had the ability, I was able to interview her and build with her twice. That brother right here, that's Isley Dontel. That sister is when you talk about a warrior. Hold on, let me go back. This brother, family, if you can get me in touch with him directly, I would love to interview him. There's actually a quote, not a quote, a clip. There's a clip floating around him, floating around or circulating on IG. It went viral of him talking. And, people were saying, oh, he's a rapper. This rapper is spitting game. And I said, no, he's more than a rapper. This brother is a community activist, and he's also a historian. He's also a scholar. And so when I said that under the chat, and I said he was featured in the documentary, 1804, and, people, I put it in the comment section of the video, and people, they started liking my comment, and they was like, yeah. But if anyone can put me in touch with him, I would love to interview that brother. I don't know if you have his IG, his phone number, or his email address, but this sister, Isley Dontel, that just came across the screen, this sister is a warrior. She is a scholar. She is a historian, and she is an activist. She's a fighter, family. And she has a social media page. All you got to do is type in Isley Dontel and go to her social media page. She's fighting for Haiti, IAT, until this day. That was Dr. Kaba Kamene. I had the honor of interviewing him as well. And so anyway, family, IAT, I'm telling you, watch the documentary. Long live the spirit of those ancestors who fought. And when you think about the Haitian Revolution, I mean, I kind of don't you see the Nguzo Saba in all of this stuff? Think about it. The first principle of Kwanzaa was emoja, or is emoja. It's unity. So in order for them to come together to defeat those European powers, what did they have to do? They had to unify. And even in unifying, they had to throw away that slave religion. Okay. Shout out to Bookman. Remember Bookman, Duddy Bookman said, man, he started talking about the God, their God versus our God. Hold on. Let me bring up Duddy Bookman's prayer. Hold on. Duddy Bookman, his prayer. Hold on, family. Duddy Bookman's prayer. Here it is, family. Duddy Bookman's prayer. And let me enlarge this. He said, the God who created the earth, who created the sun that gives us light, the God who holds up the ocean, who makes the thunder roar, our God who has ears to hear. You are hidden in the clouds, who watch us from where you are. You see all that the white has made us suffer. The white man's God asks him to commit crimes, but the God within us, wait a minute, the God within us wants to do good. Our God, who is so good, so just, he orders us to revenge our wrongs. It is he who will direct our arms and bring us to victory. It is he who will assist us. We all should throw away the image of the white man's God, who is so pitiless. Listen to the voice for liberty that speaks in all our hearts. Family, that was the prayer of Duddy Bookman. And so they had to come together. But in order to come together, they had to throw away some things. They had to get rid of some things. And he said, get rid of, throw away the image of the white man's God, who is so pitiless. Remember? So this is when they had met, right? Met, I don't want to say in the swamp, but in the forest, Duddy Bookman. And it was a sister there. Somebody help me out in the chat. I'm having a brain freeze. I forgot her name. It starts with an S, but it was a sister there. And people say, oh, they were having this voodoo, ceremony, but they were getting pumped up, man, because they were getting ready to strike. All right, family. So anyway, family, when I think of the Haitian Revolution, I think of the Nguzo Saba. So they had to unite. One. Then I also see Kujichagulia, right? Self-determination. They were determined to what? To speak for themselves. Hold on. Let me go back to Kujichagulia. I don't want to butcher it. Kujichagulia. Hold on. Kujichagulia. Self-determination, to define ourselves. Let's start there. Name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. I jumped all the way to speak for ourselves. But to define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. So when you think of the Haitian Revolution, did they not possess Kujichagulia? Did they not practice Umoja and Kujichagulia? What was the next one? Ujima. Hold on. Ujima. Collective work and responsibility. Did they not have to come together collectively, family, to work in order to defeat? Shout out to Baba. I mean, he's in the building. But didn't they come together? Baba, I gotta let you in on this. I said, Baba, when I'm thinking about the Haitian Revolution, I said this is the manifestation of the Nguzo Saba. I see all of the 7 principles, Baba,
on display.
On display. They have to work together, collective work and responsibility. Ujima, I know a lot of that focus that people say is, cooperative economics. And so you're focusing on economics. But to me, I'm thinking about utilizing resources and pulling together our resources during the Haitian Revolution to fight, right? So Ujima, Ujema. So you had that. and then Nia. They were moving with a purpose, Baba.
That's
They
right.
were moving with a purpose
They
during the Haitian
understood the
Revolution.
destination.
Come
They
on.
had a destination.
They had a destination. So Nia and then Kuumba, they had to be creative in what they did, Baba. The strategies that they deployed, Baba, the things that they were doing, the strategies, that had to be creative. Because think about it, Baba. These European powers, they were coming with guns and ships, right?
They're the most powerful militaries in the world at the time.
Come on, Baba. Come on, Baba. And so we had to think of creative ways in order to fight. So that's Kuumba.
Right.
And then today at the Kuumba, what do we have? Faith. Imani. They had to have faith that they were going to be victorious, Baba.
That's right.
So when you think about the Haitian Revolution, I see the Nguzo Saba. But go ahead, Baba. Peace and love to you, Baba. How are you?
Peace and love, Dr. Maat. I'm doing great, and peace and love to the family out there, and the Haitian Revolution, the Haiti Revolution, what a great example of all 7 principles. You know what I'm saying? And when you think about this island of transplanted Black people, coming up against the most powerful military forces in the world at that time, yes, they had to be creative. They had to practice collective work and responsibility. Each one teach one. They had to practice cooperative economics. Remember, economics is not just money and currency. It's resources. It's time. It's know-how, right? It's being able to barter and save. Once we make the move to separate from the plantation system, how are we going to eat? How are we going to trade? How are we going to live? When we're going to build, if you build a maroon village, a maroon town, that's economics. That's collective work. That's unity. Right. And so the Haitian Revolution, it wasn't a protest where they got permits like what we do and saying we shall overcome until somebody decides to change the law. You know what I'm saying? No, this was separation. This was we're done with this. And not only are we going to defeat you, we're going to kick you off the island you stole.
Come on.
And we're going to take it. You stole us and the island.
Facts.
You stole us and the island.
And the island.
And we're going to get you out of here. And a couple of things I saw when studying the Haitian Revolution was, number one, the spiritual separation. Right. You had a lot of Africans who, they had converted to Catholicism and that sort of thing. But it was a surge of voodoo, a surge of Yoruba, a surge of indigenous African beliefs. They went back to the ways of the ancestors. You can see that in the 1804 documentary. Even those who were Christians started pretending to be part-time Christians. And we know Black folks like that right now. They go to church every Sunday and put something in your shoe in a heartbeat. Put a root on you in a heartbeat at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And so they had to do that. They also use science. They use STEM. They had to weaponize the environment. I don't have the cannons. I don't have the guns, right? But I have toxicology. I have herbology. I understand animals and fauna. I know the plants, like with Mackendal and poisoning, training Africans how to poison their slave masters and things like that. That's science. Right? Holding meetings in the swamp, without getting bitten by snakes and alligators and that sort of thing. You had to learn how to move. You had to know what to eat, what you can't eat. You had to understand herbology. So the role of science in that, and it is key, and that's one of the reasons why we really push science, in our schools. Is science is not just the scientific method and sit back and watching what everybody else creates. No, science is everything around you. Science is survival, and those Africans weaponized science, weaponized herbs, and did that, weaponized spirituality in their favor. You know what I'm saying? And did that, man. When you fighting somebody who, when they attack you, they're going to throw themselves in the cannon. So when you blow the cannon up, it'll backfire on the cannon. When you fight somebody who believes that there is no death, you can't win.
You can't win.
You can't win.
Come on, Baba.
You can't beat the people who give up their fear of so-called death. And that's what happened in the Haitian Revolution, and we can learn so much from it, because we don't even fear death. We fear pain.
Come on, Baba.
We fear bad reputations. We fear making white people upset. We fear losing a job. I know PhDs who, if they didn't have a job, wouldn't know what to do.
Facts. Facts.
Now, I'm not talking about everybody, because dr.maat, you can build a city by yourself. But I'm saying,
No, but I hear what you're saying, Bob.
you see what I'm saying?
But what you're saying
There
is
are
right and
those of us
exact.
out here that have all the so-called education in the world, but can't stand up for our community because we fear the backlash, even though you're righteous in what you're trying to do. You're right. Yes, you want to establish an independent school in your community, but you're scared to be linked to something like that because it's too radical. NBA player, NFL player, right?
Actor,
you're afraid.
actresses.
You want to go back and buy back your community and fight gentrification and set up black-owned businesses, but you're afraid to look too black. You're afraid if you look too black, you'll lose access to some of the things that you feel like they've given you access to. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. If it's yours, you can't lose it like that. If it's yours, can't nobody take it just because they don't like what you do with it. If someone else can determine what you do with your wealth, that's not your wealth.
Come on, Baba. Come on, Baba. You saw what happened to Kanye. He went from being worth a billion or $2 billion to his net worth being 400 million. So, like you said, was it even yours in the first? If somebody can take it from you that easily, was it yours?
Right. Because what you have as hard cash and assets ain't the same as what you're valued in the market.
That's right.
And so a lot of the people that we think are uber rich, we're looking at their valuation, not their actual wealth.
Right.
And your valuation can be changed with the relationship that you have. Look at the Haitian Revolution. Toussaint Louverture at the beginning had a relationship with the French because he was trained by the French.
Talk about it, Baba.
So he had a relationship. When he changed the dynamics of that relationship, he became public enemy number one. And his fatal mistake, his fatal flaw was that once victory was in hand, he thought he still had a relationship.
Right. And Baba, every time when I studied that, I said, Toussaint. Oh, he went over there, Baba, thinking this is one French man to another French man, and we're going to have a dialogue. And they grabbed him through his butt in jail. Come on, Baba.
Right. His mistake was the false value that he saw in that relationship. That relationship had no value. None. And just how we look at our relationships with white institutions and stuff today, as if that's not where your value is.
Come on, Baba.
Those relationships have no value. They're transactional relationships. And through Kuumba, through Imani, through the Nguzo Saba, we can create transactional relationships among ourselves that carry more value.
That's right. That's right.
I bet Kanye, even going from $1 billion to $500 million, which right? Even going from there to there, he probably has a greater sense of self-worth. I mean, he all over the place with stuff, but he would probably have a greater sense of self-worth by saying, take that valuation back. If that's what this relationship means, I'd rather have my self-respect than to be in that relationship.
Yeah, and shout out to Kyrie. You saw Kyrie had posted a tennis shoe. He's doing some business, so they took away his Baba. They took away his. I think he had a deal with like Nike or something like that, and they took it away from him. And then he linked up with a black-owned shoe company.
Right.
And they said he wore the tennis shoe and wrote free or something. I think didn't he write free on it, or he wrote
right.
It was something along those lines.
Right.
But he's basically like, I'll keep my integrity, I'll keep my dignity, and I'll go over here and build with my folks. But Baba, what I dislike about our people is I hate that something, and I know this is human. A lot of humans operate like this, but something has to happen in order for him to say, "Oh, let me go with my people." I wish that we had the consciousness. You get what I'm saying, Baba, to just do that, not say, "Oh, something has to happen with white folks for you then to come now you want to run over here and then you want to support my black-owned shoe company." But you should have did that from jump, brother. You get what I'm saying? But shout out to the Uhuru Academy, because if our babies were reared in an African-centered environment, in an African-centered institution,
that would be their first thought.
Would be their first thought. But because our people don't receive an African-centered, education, they're not operating with a, with an African consciousness,
Right.
and therefore they don't think. Go ahead, Bobby. I'm saying therefore they don't think like that. But go ahead, Bobby.
Right, right. People remember a few years ago, the Ball brothers came into the NBA. Lonzo Ball, now it's LaMelo Ball, and then they had their father, right? And they brought out their own shoe, and everybody's laughed at.
Mm.
And of course, other players didn't endorse it because they already belong to Adidas and Nike and those other companies. They looking for those endorsement deals. And I applaud Kyrie because professional athletes, a lot of them make more money from their shoe deal than they do from their NBA deal.
Right. Well, yeah.
Or just as much, right? And so he walked away from something very lucrative numerically in exchange for doing something that felt better culturally. He may not get those Nike numbers, right? But at the same time, the statement that he's making, if it can catch on, because these are industries that Black people could corner. Everybody can't play basketball, but I bet some of us can sew. I know we can design. I know we can make the products that we make famous. Because wasn't nobody wearing Nike before Black people. Nobody.
Facts.
Nobody.
Baba, even Adidas.
Even Adidas.
Yeah.
Before Run DMC said my Adidas, we wasn't wearing Adidas like that.
No.
Right. And so we because our culture is so magnetic, we could push all kinds of products out there,
Facts,
and take ownership. Even with hip hop, we create the music, but we don't have the infrastructure to capitalize on the music. So it's 10 of us in the room. Everybody want to rap, but don't nobody want to promote. Don't nobody want to learn accounting. Don't nobody want to learn distribution. Nobody want to go into manufacturing, right? Because there are tiers to every industry.
Come on, and Bob, let me add on to that.
Yes.
Nobody, like you said, man, I'm glad that you mentioned manufacturing. Like you said, actually manufacturing the equipment, creating and designing, engineers, creating and designing the equipment, the mics, the soundboards, the speakers, you know what I mean? Like you said, Bob, so I'm glad you threw that in there. I love Dr. Anderson. He always talks about, controlling the industry from the bottom to the top.
Right.
From the bottom of the top. The resources, the materials that we use, from the materials all the way, like you said, Baba, to distribution. We gotta be in control of those. All the way.
And that's the part of the Haitian Revolution that I love too, because once you kick out the oppressor, somebody got to run the government.
Come on.
So we have to do business. You can't just sit around and clap. Sooner or later, somebody's gonna say, now what? Because they were the oppressor, but they kept the roads. They built the roads. They were the oppressor, but they were directing who's gonna take over the industry. And the Haitians did an excellent job. They were minting their own money. They were harvesting. They made strategic deals with certain whites who didn't fight. You know what I'm saying? Right? And they had a functioning government, functioning country, and got themselves solvent enough to where they were helping other Black populations in Central America and in the islands fight for their independence too.
Yes, they were.
And by the time America invaded Haiti in the early 1900s, America stole billions of dollars out of the Haitian bank. So and we don't talk about the U.S. invasion of Haiti.
Come on.
Right? Where they basically went in and looted and emptied the treasury. Well, you got to have a treasury in order for it to be empty. So somebody in IET was doing some good business.
Right. Facts. And then, Baba, after the Haitian Revolution, they put a a sanction on them. They had to pay, a certain, because people used to say Haiti is rich in minerals and metals and all kinds of stuff. Like, why are they so poor? Well, after the Haitian Revolution, it said that they had to pay them for the property that was
to pay the French reparations.
Come on, Baba.
Yeah. They had to pay the French reparations, and the United States was the watchdog.
Right. And say, so if you don't pay this, then we coming. Now we coming for you.
Yes. A lot of the French came to the United States. A lot of the French who fled IET came to the United States, brought their enslaved Africans with them into Louisiana. Arkansas, into the Gulf, all those areas, Florida, places like that. You know what I'm saying? So America was a safe haven for French slavery, in the French and British enslavers, because of course in 1804 slavery was in full effect in the United States.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
slavery was in full effect in the United States, man. So you talking about a group of African people who were up against the whole Western European world on this tiny island that can fit in Dallas. You know, on this tiny island of black people, embarrassing Napoleon, embarrassing all those Europeans, but showing us the strength of our cultural cohesion, of our spirituality, the strength of our creativity, the strength of our faith. You know, no wonder they erased this from the history books.
Absolutely, Baba. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the Haitian Revolution happened in phases, because people say, well, why was it so long? 1791 to 1804. But it was a whole process, right?
Absolutely.
That occurred. It was a process. It started with, and I see Brother Kuji like Chakali is in the building. He said Cecilia Fatima, and that's who I forgot. I said it was Duddy. I thought her name began with the S, but he helped me out, because I thought it was the S, but it was Cecilia Fatima, and that was the sister who was in like the forest or the swamp with Duddy Bookman at the beginning, right? In 1791 in August.
Yes.
So then we took it from there. Then it went through. There were a number of people, so it wasn't just Toussaint. You had the brother.
We know who brought it home.
Oh yeah, Dessalines brought it home.
Jean-Jacques Dessalines brought it home.
Dessalines brought it home. Dessalines brought it home, man. And I'm saying, and they said that he was trained up by a Dahomey.
Dahomey woman.
Yeah. Queen Mother. What's the name? Queen Mother. What do they call her? Queen Mother. Oh Lord, Baba, I'm losing my facts, Baba. What's her name, Baba? What's her name? Queen Mother.
I'm forgetting the name of.
Let me Google this real fast.
Right. You know.
But
you know, because of slavery, so many families were split up during that time, and you had a lot of warrior mothers, you know, and that came from Angola, came from the Congo, came from the Dahomey and all that were raising sons to kill, that were raising warriors to fight, you know. And
Queen Mother Toya,
okay,
right?
Queen Mother Toya. Cool,
I think that's what it is. I think it's Queen Mother Toya. I'm still Googling.
Well, there's some Queen Mother Toyas today in the hood that need that Queen Mother Toya spirit, you know, and continue to raise our sons and raise our daughters, you know, to be warriors, political warriors, spiritual warriors, you know what I'm saying, cultural warriors, business warriors. That same spirit is still there, that Aset spirit.
Ashe.
You know, that Aset spirit going all the way back to Aset raising Heru. You got Queen Mother Toya raising Jean-Jacques Dessalines up, you know. And again, when Jean-Jacques took over, there was a policy shift. There's a policy change. Yeah, Jean-Jacques said, "Nah, y'all ain't going back. We killing everybody. We're gonna send a couple people back to tell the story."
Ashe, and they say Mama Toya. So we were right, Bob. I'm looking like I'm Googling. I'm like, what is it? Because I didn't want to butcher her name. But yes, Queen Mother Toya.
Right.
Absolutely.
And how do we deny our children these beautiful stories of fighting for freedom? You know, they get to hear about George Washington, who owned enslaved people fighting for freedom for the British, but they don't get to hear about Jean-Jacques Dessalines and Cecilia Fatima and Mackendal and, you know, Duty Bookman, you know, fighting for freedom in Haiti.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. No.
Absolutely, Baba. And that's what I was saying at the beginning.
Right.
At the beginning, that's what I was saying, Baba. These are the stories we need to be telling our children. I mean, tell it all. Tell the whole history. But a lot of them, when they think of fight, they go back to Dr. King and the nonviolent strategy that he was promoting and practicing at that particular time. They don't see the Haitian Revolution, right? And so they don't see that. They don't hear about Nat Turner and all of those stories, you know, and the Maroons going back to the plantation, burning it down. They don't learn that stuff, you know. They don't learn that stuff. And Baba, Baba, before you go, it's two people I want to talk to you about.
What's up?
Dr. John Henry Clarke and Dr. Ben. You know, so Dr. Ben's birthday was on December the 31st.
Yes.
Salute to Dr. Ben.
Salute to
Dr. John Henry Clarke was born today.
Ashe.
And so I have two little videos, both just 1 minute. of both of them talking. And I always try to lift them up, Baba, because you never know. I didn't get introduced to their work until like 2014-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, about
I was introduced to
2014,
their work back
2015.
in the 90s, early
See,
90s.
see, Baba, I didn't. I got on about shoot almost 9 years ago, and
Yeah.
so I always try to lift them up because there may be other people, who may be unaware, of who
Mhm.
they are. But I'll let Dr. Ben speak, and then let Dr. John Henry Clarke speak, and then I want to pick your brain, Baba, on your
I
thoughts
say,
of how they contributed
I
to
say,
the rescuing and the restoration of African history and culture. So, what do
I
you
say.
believe, their contributions were? So, here we go, family.
One, that the pyramids were built by human beings, and by the way, have nothing to do with slavery, nothing to do with a single Jew building the pyramid, and that was my religion, right? So if I'm going to be prejudiced, I should be the other way. But the evidence showed that Abraham, the first Jew, was not born when the last pyramid was built, and that's the reason. It's no way it's written in Torah, the Jewish Bible, that Jews build pyramid. This is a folkloric nonsense. Now, because the first time we are hearing of Abraham is about 1675 before the Common Era. The exact time we're hearing about the Hyksos, the first non-African invaders of Egypt. The Africans of Egypt are already in the 13th dynastic period. The invasion is going to end the 13th and start a new, or the first foreign invasion. All 95 of the pyramids are already built. The last of the 95 pyramids built in the 12th dynasty, Abraham isn't born until the 13th dynasty. So you can't build a pyramid before you're born. But the evidence point to, number one.
So that was my clip on who built the pyramids. Dr. Ben Baba just blew it off the roof. I mean, he just completely just blew it out. Like, how is that possible? You're talking about Abraham. Well, when was Abraham born? Well, let's do the math. When were the first pyramids built? And most of the pyramids were built during, I think, like the second dynasty? No, it's during the Middle Kingdom. I want to say during the Middle Kingdom was when most of them were built, around that time. But the point I'm making, Baba, is I love how he used chronology, right, to dismiss the notion that, and I mean, we can get into whether we think that Abraham existed or not. But what Dr. Ben did was use chronology to say, okay, we know that the pyramids were built during this time period.
Right.
Abraham was born during this period, and by the time he was born, we were already in our 13th dynasty.
Right.
Come on, so he's like, hold up, wait a minute. And so he just blew that whole idea of Jews building the pyramids. And then that the National Geographic, Baba, the National Geographic magazine published an article that utilized archaeological evidence to prove or dismiss the notion that the people who built the pyramids were slaves. That's
Right.
another thing. Oh, it was
Right.
there was some slaves they got to build the pyramids. No, when you look at the archaeological evidence, it says otherwise. It was just Baba, like no different than men getting together and building the stadium downtown. I mean, you get what I'm saying, Baba?
Right.
And
Absolutely.
getting compensated for that. So
Right.
they presented the archaeological evidence to destroy the notion that it was slaves who built the pyramids. But Baba, what are your thoughts about Dr. Ben before I play Dr. John Henry Clarke? What are your thoughts on Dr. Ben and his contribution to the rescuing and restoration of African history and culture, and his impact on African people as a whole?
I want to give a big up to scholars like Dr. Yosef Ben-Jochannan and the Black bookstore movement of the 1990s and hip hop. Because I remember as a young man, the convergence of those three, I would hear Chuck D say something, or the X Clan. Then I had a black bookstore to go into. Then when I get in that black bookstore, I got a book by Dr. Yosef Ben-Jochannan, like The Need for a Black Bible, or The Black Man of the Nile and His Family, or The African Origins of Western Religion. And so I'm in college without being in college. I'm learning what I learned. Or I might see a VHS tape, had the tapes back then, and you can buy a tape and that sort of thing. So with that information being made available, it impacted so many young Black people in my generation, just to have access to that, and I think we kind of gloss over that era, but without that era, we wouldn't know who Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad is. We wouldn't
Very
know
true,
who
Baba.
Dr. Yosef Ben-Jochannan is, a young man in Fort Worth, Texas. Dr. Ben's doing all his work on the west East Coast. But I was all the way in Fort Worth, Texas, having my whole perspective, life change, and killing people in debates using Dr. Yosef Ben-Jochannan's work. And I never met the man a day in my life. A day in my life. And no internet. We wasn't on the internet then. Wasn't no clips, wasn't no YouTube, none of that kind of stuff. You had to be able to get out there and go get it. And Dr. Yosef Ben-Jochannan and Dr. Clarke and others, they hit the speaking circuit. They traveled. They didn't just sit and teach at the school that gave them a paycheck. They traveled across the country and outside of the country, you know what I'm saying, to speak and teach this new type of knowledge that most of us did not have access to at all. And so I applaud their work, and not just in saying everything they said was right and that. No. Right. I applaud their work in getting this evidence to us, to the masses, not just people who took their class. We was in the hood reading and debating and talking about Dr. Yosef Ben-Jochannan. We was in the hood. I was in Butler housing projects reading Doc Ben, reading Dr. John Henrik Clarke. So that whole network that allowed a young brother like myself to gain access to this level of knowledge and research, I'll forever sing praises for whoever those adults and organizers were during that time for making that stuff available. There's no Million Man March, no surge in membership in the Nation of Islam without this network.
Whew. Facts, Baba.
You know what I'm saying? And so that whole era in the 90s when I came of age, you know, where knowledge of self just kind of, it was the end thing. You had to have knowledge of self, right? And I applaud Dr. Yosef Ben-Jochannan for making himself available. Dr. John Henrik Clarke for making himself available for young cats in the hood like me. You know, and so I hold them in the highest regard, because I know it's easy. Getting the knowledge is one thing. Being bold enough to say what you saw is something totally different. There are a lot of scholars, scientists, archaeologists who know truth but won't say it.
I won't speak truth to power. Come on, Baba.
Won't speak truth to power. They're going to say whatever that's going to keep the endowment coming.
Come on.
Dr. Yosef Ben-Jochannan sacrificed that.
To
the point to where I have a young brother I know was taking a master's, trying to get his master's in African studies at Morehouse, and the department there is run by a white man who makes it a point to debunk Dr. Ben and says you're not allowed to use his work as a reference in my class because he was never peer reviewed. So you have a generation at that school anyway that are being taught that Dr. Yosef Ben-Jochannan was a non-scholar.
Oh yeah, it's on the internet. You know, people calling him a pseudo scholar and saying that his work was pseudo history. And like I said, I'm with you, and I love that you said it earlier when you said I don't think that they got everything right. But who does? But who does? Because let me say something. Let me say something. Ben Franklin, and I always use this example, you know, they call him the father of electricity, right? And so they still call him the father of electricity, even though he got it wrong, right? He thought that the flow of charge was due solely to the movement of protons. That's what he thought. And it was wrong, you know, but he's still regarded as the father of electricity. No one calls him a pseudo. No one say, oh man, he was pseudo. He was a pseudoscientist because he had something wrong. They still honor him and they still revere him as the father of electricity. But with us, one of our scholars may get something wrong, and this is a pseudo. He's pseudo. And you just want to dismiss his work, you know, because he may have gotten some things wrong.
And we don't see the black self-hate in that.
No, we don't.
We don't see the black self-hate and how easily you can counsel a man's whole life's work that benefits you. How easy you can dismiss that because you want to look smart sitting next to somebody else.
Come on.
Everything in science and archaeology, and correct me if I'm wrong, is evidence-based. Not 100%. This is what it is. The evidence suggests.
There we go,
This is
Baba.
my interpretation of the evidence. That doesn't mean this is exactly what happened. This is an interpretation of the evidence. So when people start talking you pseudo, but we're all looking at the same evidence, don't you know that since the beginning of time, the whole nature of science is me and you looking at the same evidence and having opposing interpretation?
Come on, Baba.
That's what science is. People think science is absolute truth. Science is absolute observation, investigation, and interpretation.
And it's ongoing, Baba. So what we may know today, it may change tomorrow.
It may change tomorrow.
It's an ongoing observation, an ongoing investigation. Come on, Baba.
So you don't destroy the name of the scientist because something else has been discovered, especially a black scientist who often had to hide what he was doing so the white folks funding the trip wouldn't know. A black scientist who had to depend on the pennies and nickels of black people to get the work done, right? Black scientists who had to deal with racist white peers who wouldn't review it because they didn't consider you a peer.
Come on, Baba. Come on.
Who are we to sit up and admonish the name? No, you don't do that. The impact that Dr. Clarke, the impact that Dr. Yosef Ben-Jochannan had on the black community cannot be overstated. And we have to stop erasing people from our past, whether we agree with them or not. Don't condemn a bridge. People have their opinions about Minister Farrakhan, but you cannot deny the impact, especially when I was coming up, that the Nation of Islam had in our communities. You can't deny it.
No, you can't.
I can't. Because it helped me. If it wasn't for NOI study group, I wouldn't have had the discipline to slow down long enough to even want to learn more.
Come on, Baba.
You know. And so, man, Dr. Yosef Ben-Jochannan and his whole crew, the Chancellor Williams, Jonathan Jackson, all of them, right? Right. Everybody in that ilk, in that generation, your Dr. Sheikh Antizopes, your Ivan Van Sertima's. I know they like to clown him too, but
they do.
Dr. Van Sertima made them have to ask them some questions.
Yes, he did.
And we have to appreciate that when people say, no, I have evidence we were here before Columbus. And here's the evidence. Make them go to work to disprove that.
That's right.
Make them go to work, answer this evidence. And they had to spend decades trying to discredit it. And for people to think that there's no such thing as scientific racism, if you don't think that these people will lie in the name of science, all you got to do is go back and study phrenology when they said that you were not a human because your skull was too big and your brain was too small. And they said that was science.
Yeah, they did. Absolutely.
It's not racism. It's just science. So yeah. When people tell me it's I follow the science. Ain't no such thing as the science.
Right. It's just right.
Are you serious?
Right. It's science.
It's science.
Right, science. It's science.
Yeah, who's science? Everybody's science ain't the same.
Come on, Baba.
You know, and so we praise Dr. Yosef Ben-Jochannan for doing that, you know, and sacrificing other opportunities because they want to present this evidence and use that evidence to uplift us. Uplift us. You have to appreciate that.
Absolutely. I want to play this last clip and then, Baba, we're going to head out. Hold on. Let me play this last clip of Dr. John Henry Clarke speaking.
Spirituality is a way of accepting the fact that there is a spiritual force in the universe larger than all of mankind. But someone had to come along and invent a word called God. And someone had to say of another God and say, mine is better than yours. And someone had to create faith. Someone said, I have the true faith. Religion is the organization of spirituality into something that became the handmaiden of conquerors. Nearly all religions were brought to people and imposed on people by conquerors,
Teach.
used as the framework to control their minds. My main point here is that if you are the child of God and God is a part of you, then in your imagination, God's supposed to look like you.
Ashe.
Ah,
Ashe,
hey,
Baba.
teach.
Man, when I listen to those master teachers, Baba, I get so energized. That was from the clip, A Great and Mighty Walk.
Love that
Yeah,
documentary
I
too.
love that documentary. So I'm gonna probably after this kick back with the family, watch 1804 and
Right.
watch A Great and Mighty Walk. So we black powered out around here all day, Baba,
I
all
say.
day.
I said we
So
supposed to be hitting the road. We hitting the road today. We're going down there. We're going up to Charlotte, North Carolina. They're doing a fundraiser for the Uhuru Academy up there, and so we're gonna go up there, and then I'm gonna take the family on down to Orlando. We're gonna take a little quick road trip for a couple of days, and yeah, man, yeah, we're gonna kick with the fam today. But yeah, Dr. Clarke, come on. When he broke down the spirituality, if you don't understand the difference between spirituality and religion, just
I'm
all you gotta
on.
do is look at that clip.
I'm on,
You know,
Baba.
and with religion being the handmaiden of conquerors,
Mm.
that's the truth.
That's a fact, Baba. And when he said that, my mind went back to the book, The Portuguese in West Africa, 15,
Mhm.
1415 to 1670, where Malin the Wheat translated a lot of the Portuguese, the writings of the Portuguese captains and merchants and the people who went over there up and down, Upper Guinea and Lower Guinea. And that's what they did, Baba.
Right,
Even when they went into the Congo,
right.
they were erecting churches, Baba, and
Hmm.
converting people to their religion. And like you said, it was
Hmm.
control, it was mind control, Baba.
Yeah,
But that's what they
completely.
did. That's what they
Hmm.
did. And they talked about that in their writings. They talked
Right.
about bringing their religion and imposing their religion on the people, on the indigenous people. And so they talked about that in the writing. So that's where my mind went to. And so I agree with them. All of those religions, even I know some people that we talk about Islam. Come on
Oh my
now,
God. Come on now.
Islam came with the Arabs. But
Yeah.
I know there's some folks, and shout out to my good brother Dr. Wesley. I know he would debate me on that. It's an African. I think he said that it was an African religion. I want to say that he wrote a book
Okay. You
that he
can
talked.
say that, but you just can't deny what Arabs did with it.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
can't deny what when it got Arabized or an Arab culture got a hold to the spiritual system, just like when Europeans got a hold of
Oh,
Christianity. You know what
Christianity.
I'm saying? They turned it into a weapon to conquer with. They took ownership of the God.
Absolutely.
And their purpose became synonymous with God's purpose. I remember being in school and learning about manifest destiny. I didn't learn that white people stole America from indigenous people. I learned that it was God's destiny. It was manifest destiny. It was the white man's destiny made manifest that he take this country and establish the United States. So anybody complaining about it, you don't get mad at us, get mad at God.
Mm.
you know
Rob-
yeah, and so that's what it is. And so with Islam, when the Arabs came into Africa with Islam, I remember, from my studies, in the beginning, because Islam is supposed to be a spiritual system of tolerance. And early on, you found African nations in West Africa that practice Islam, but also allow the free and open practice of indigenous spiritual systems as well. That began to change when slavery became more popping, when the trade of other minerals in West Africa, that whole trade route became more lucrative. And then you had the greedy conquerors from the north coming in and saying, now we'll do business with you, but now anyone who's not a Muslim, we can enslave them.
Right.
Because they're now we've consulted with Allah and the Caliphate, and now anyone who's not a Muslim is an infidel.
But why you say we consulted with Allah, Baba?
But Allah told them. Allah told somebody in the, what I'm saying, in the caliphate, that all of a sudden non-Muslims were fair game. Just like Jesus came down and told a pope that, hey, no, it's all good. If they not a Christian, they fair game too.
Come on.
Yeah. So
Pope Nicholas.
the white God told the Europeans that all non-Christians were fair game. And then the Arab God, not Allah, but the Arab Allah, told the Arabs that all non-Muslims were fair game. Somebody said it, because that's what happened. So the origin of the spiritual system becomes irrelevant when you're talking about what people have done with it. You're not attacking the religion, but you can't debate how religion has been used and weaponized by one group of human beings towards another. Hell, some of us have been victimized by religion in our own households.
Facts.
You have pastors in our community still weaponizing religion to take advantage of people.
That's a fact. That's a fact, Baba.
You know, we can't deny that. But when you study someone like Dr. Clarke and you gain that perspective, your discernment improves.
Mm-hmm.
And now you looking and you saying, wait a minute, though, because my destination is liberation. My destination is to build. My destination is to have a strong family. What he talking about?
Right. Facts.
You know, what he talking about, give to him and I get closer to God. Hold on.
That don't sound right.
That don't sound right. I need to. What's the purpose here? Where are we going? You know, with our church, are we going to buy the stores? Are we going to open some businesses? Are we going to build a center? Are we going to start a school? What we doing with all this that's coming in, this abundance that we're getting from God? What we doing with it? And I don't mind the preacher got a fancy Cadillac, but we better have a state-of-the-art computer room too.
That's right.
You have to bring balance. And so when people. When you study Dr. Yosef Ben-Jochannan, Dr. John Henrik Clarke, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, even if you don't join an African-centered organization, study them anyway, because what they're going to do is they're going to empower you to have greater discernment as far as what's going on in our community, how to interpret what's going on in your church or in your spiritual system, how to interpret things for yourself.
That's right.
And look at things from an African-centered perspective.
And Baba, I really think, and I'm just tying it home. I think, Baba, that's really the major, you know, I mean, we could talk about the things that they address, right? They address religion, right? They address, they address history, they address culture, you know, so many, but what they really did, Baba, when you think of Dr. John Henrik Clarke, and you just hit the nail on the hammer on the nail, when you said that they allowed us, with the information that they brought us, was to begin to view ourselves in the world through African lenses, i.e., what they did was give us an African world view. That's what they did. So I give thanks for their life, Baba. I give thanks for their life. I give thanks for their work, Baba. I give thanks for their sacrifices. I'm grateful. And as I stated on social media, I said, we honor them, we love them, we honor them, we appreciate them, and we will forever speak their names and perpetuate their work, and also build on their work. Yeah. So, Baba, do you have any closing word? You got to talk about the Uhuru Academy while we got 60,000 people. You got to talk about the Uhuru Academy.
Yeah, definitely, everybody. The Uhuru Academy. Go check out www.uhuruacademy.com. Our K through 12 online private school is now enrolling. I'm really looking for some K through 2 students too. We put together a very good kindergarten through second grade online program. Y'all definitely need to come check us out. No more excuses. Also enrolling in our Operation Reconnect's adult education program, where we're graduating people who stopped out of school from ages 16 and up. But we graduate you. It's not so much about your academics with us. It's about your plan. What are you going to do with it? So we're providing them with the coaching that they need, the pathways that they need, people who are serious about getting back on their feet. We say at the Uhuru Academy, you can't scream Black power if you're not willing to empower Black people. And that's what Uhuru Academy is all about. We're running an ongoing fundraiser right now. You can donate to the Uhuru Academy via Cash App at $ Uhuru Academy, PayPal.me/the Uhuru Academy, or go to our Patreon channel, which is Patreon, patreon.com/Baba Amin RBG. Right, and become an Uhuru Academy patron. Well, you'll be given to us on a monthly basis, and in exchange for that, we're gonna keep you up to date with what's going on in our school. You're gonna get access to exclusive lectures and lessons, merch that other people won't have access to. I might even throw a song or two in there, because I like to get on that mic still. That only our patrons will get access to. Also, our corporate patrons, our business sponsors, we have even greater deals for you. We want to match our brand with brands of integrity and blackness throughout the diaspora. Education and business goes hand in hand, y'all. Come build the Uhuru Academy Village with us.
Ashe, Baba, and family. I'm with Baba. It's no more excuses. Don't come to me. And Baba, I'm at this point, and I don't know. You know how when you get in your older age, your patients start going like this. It's like I'm like
right.
I want to connect with serious people.
Ashe.
Don't get online with me and talk on. And I'm not talking about you, Bob. I'm talking about folks. Get
Ashe.
online with me and talk all of this pro-black stuff and and pump your fists up, and then sending your children right into the devil's den the next day. Like, I just don't have time for it. Then you're making a bunch of excuses. African Centered Education is online now. It's
Yes,
online. And guess what, Baba? When the pandemic occurred and they closed all of the schools, right? The children were doing what, Baba? Learning at home online. And what did we do? We adjusted and we made it happen.
That's right. That's
we
right.
adjusted and we made it happen.
We made it happen.
Give your children African-centered education, family. No more excuses. The Uhuru Academy, is I'm telling you, my family, and I keep saying this, Baba, they were so impressed. And I come from a family full of educators.
That's
when
right.
they sat and they talked to Baba, I think, Baba, we had you on that Zoom call for about an hour.
Oh, yeah.
They were
called it
asking
the gauntlet.
We had Baba on a Zoom call for an hour. The village there, everybody want to know what's going on. And when Baba presented his curriculum, my family was so impressed. They said, "Yeah, put Jay. He gotta go. He gotta get into the Uhuru Academy." The curriculum, family, is phenomenal. The tools that they use, phenomenal. So, family, please visit the Uhuru Academy. Click on the link. Get a consultation with Baba, Amin, and Mama and Koyo. Sit down with them and let's figure this thing out.
Let's figure it out.
Yeah, let's figure it out. And so, anyway, Baba, any closing words for the listening audience?
Hey, I love you all, and I don't mind telling you all.
That's it, Baba.
That's all I got. That's all I got, man. I love you, and I don't mind telling you.
I don't
you know
mind
what I'm saying? That's what I got. That's what I got, Dr. Maat. You know what I'm saying? I love my people. I appreciate you. And I love you, and I love everything that you do and everything that you stand for. And you mentioned your family. You come from some good folk.
Thank you so much, Baba.
Beautiful people. And it's an honor to be linked.
Hey, likewise, Baba. The feeling is mutual. Please send my love to Mama and Koyo and your Toto, and have a beautiful, beautiful Kwanzaa, the rest of your Kwanzaa.
I say you too.
I say peace and power, Baba.
Peace.
All right, family. So I'm getting ready to close out. But before I do, I want to go through these in Nguzo Saba really quickly. The 7 principles of Kwanzaa. So this week, family, we focused on Umoja, unity, Kujichagulia, self-determination, Ujima, collective work and responsibility, Ujama, cooperative economics, Nia, purpose, Kumba, creativity, and Imani, faith. And so I know that Dr. Karenga, on the day of Imani, he asks us to meditate. He asked us to be a day of meditation. Okay. And so I know that some of you probably still celebrating or recuperating from bringing in the new year, but take some time out, family, to meditate tonight. I actually meditated after I said Happy New Year to my family. We were all on like this in the Facebook group chat, and we did like a virtual call because, different people in my family, some people have COVID, some people have colds. So we didn't congregate to bring in the New Year's, but we were online, on Facebook. They have like a chat in the Messenger app of Facebook. And so we did the countdown together. But anyway, why did I mention that, family? Oh, okay. So yeah. So even though you're with your family and you might be with your family congregating and doing your thing, meditate, family. Oh, I was telling you that for a reason. So after I did the countdown, I literally went upstairs, laid in my bed, and I meditated for about maybe like 40 minutes. And then went to sleep, and it felt so good. I focused on 2022 and the good and the bad, and focused on my plans for 2023, and it just felt great. And I plan on doing that today. So take some time out to just meditate, think, be alone in your thoughts, focus on things that you have experienced, what you need to correct, your desires, your goals. Sit back and meditate today, family. Okay. Take a moment out to meditate. Also, family, think of the Nguzo Saba and how you can implement this into your everyday life, because what I don't want to happen is that when Kwanzaa's over, you're no longer thinking about Umoja. You're no longer thinking about Kuji Chagalia. You're no longer thinking about Ujima or Ujama and Nia and Kaumba and Imani, because we're not talking about it every day on air, right? But think about how to incorporate these principles into your daily life. Think about how to teach these principles in your daily life. Think about how to promote these principles in your daily life. Ashe? Ashe. So just because Kwanzaa is gone doesn't mean that we should not practice the principles that we celebrated for this 7-day celebration. Ashe? Ashe. All right, family. And also today, make sure you focus on, watch a documentary or two with your children. Watch 1804, the Haitian Revolution. I'm going to watch that today. I'm telling you that right now. And A Great and Mighty Walk with Dr. John Henry Clarke. It's on YouTube, by the way. It's for free. It's on YouTube. So take a moment out, watch these documentaries, watch some clips of Dr. Ben and Dr. John Henry Clarke. Pour a libation in their honor and celebrate them, honor them, remember them, speak their names, because what the ancestors say, if you speak my name, I will live forever. So speak their names today. Dr. John Henry Clarke, say their names. Dr. Ben, speak the names of the Haitian Revolution warriors. Cecile Fatima and Queen Mother Toya and Desaline and Toussaint and Duddy Bookman. Speak their names, family. Speak their names. Ashe? Ashe. So I'm going to head on out of here. I just want to play this instrumental with you. And I know that you could kick it with me or not kick it with me. But I played this song earlier. And now I just kind of want to just chill and listen to the instrumental. But peace and love to your family. I'll be back live, maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after. Kwanzaa's over, so I may take a break or two, a break for a couple of days. But I love this track. I love, it really speaks to my soul. But I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Kwanzaa. I pray that you have a happy new year. May you and your family be showered with the blessings and the protection, the covering of the Creator. Ashe, yo. I'm gonna vibe out with y'all for a minute. I don't even think y'all understand what it feels like, man, when them ancestors be on you heavy. When you carry our ancestors in your spirit every day. I can't even explain it. They on me heavy, y'all.